Hey, what's happening, you weird witch cats? That's right, the first player to ever make it to the Arceus League on the PTCGL ranked ladder was Lombre Killroom, and they did it all with Turbo Durant. So huge shout out to them for sharing the list, and congratulations on being the first player to ever make it to the Arceus League on the ranked ladder. I hit them quite a few times throughout my games on PTCGL so far, and I got crushed quite a few times. The Durant list is pretty crazy, and it looks like a ton of fun, so I'm super excited to get into some games with it and share it with you guys. Let's go ahead, let's take a look at that list for Durant, of course, because there's a Durant deck, and the rest of the Pokemon, not too many other Pokemon here, actually. We got one Pyukumuku, constantly help us draw cards, especially once we've kind of gotten all of our Durants out of the deck. Our Quick Balls and Level Balls kind of become useless at that point, so being able to recycle them on Pyukumukus is pretty nice. One Chatot with a lucky match to be able to recycle supporters, actually, and there's 4 Scoop Up Net in this list. You can use the Chatot over and over with that lucky match, or also, of course, Scoop Up Nets are great for moving Snorlax around. One Manaphy in here to protect the bench from the Jolteons or the Urshifus, mainly only Urshifu right now, and then 2 Snorlax to help us set up in the early game, but also the mid game and the late game. This can still be a factor, the Gourmandize can, to just helping us see more cards when we're kind of stuck in certain situations throughout the game. 7 energy, 4 twin energy, 3 double turbo. Want to be using the ant as often as possible, so definitely want to play more than 4. So we got 7 in here for the energy, more than 6, but still, you just want to be able to find it more consistently. Like, you don't want to play just 6 energy when you're trying to attack, you know, ideally every single turn with Durant. That, of course, isn't going to happen. You're going to have those turns where you have to use Snorlax, or you might whiff an attachment. But 7 here to help find it more consistently. And then getting over to the trainer cards, which is where it gets wild, it gets crazy. 4 Pokemon Catcher, 4 Crushing Hammer. So the aggressive disruption cards maxed out in here in the 4 Crushing Hammer, the 4 Pokemon Catcher. 4 Quick Ball, 4 Level Ball for the Pokemon Search, and then some more disruption cards in the Yellhorns, 1 of Boss's Orders, and 4 Galarian Mine. Try and trap stuff in the active, whether that be Galarian Mine plus Yellhorn, and then making it hard for them to retreat to a new attacker and keep the confused one stuck in the active, or bossing or catching something up and then trapping it with the Galarian Mine as well. And then there's 1 Echoing Horn in here as well, so if your opponent doesn't bench anything extra and they set up like 1 lone attacker, or set up like 2 attackers. They've set up like 1 lone attacker, you can Yell Horn it, but they set up like 2 attackers and that's all they have in play. You can like mill some cards and then Echoing Horn something onto their bench if they didn't discard something themselves, and then boss or catcher that into the active and then trap that in the active instead. For Curse Shovel, I mean, your opponent can't just let the ants sit there and mill cards, so when they do take those knockouts, you want to be milling those extra cards through the Curse Shovels. 4 Scoop Up Net, like I already mentioned. And then for the supporters, the draw supporters, you got 4 Bruno, shuffle draw 7, 3 Marnie, and 1 Cynthia's Ambition. And those are the draw supporters. And then, of course, there's 1 of Peony in here to help us hopefully find a prize Durant. If we prize a Durant, that's usually the only thing you need to find. Sometimes if you prize your Echoing Horn or a Yellhorn, those are things you might want to find as well. But generally, the Peony is in here. Got to be able to find that 4th ant if it's prized. But there are some other situations where other cards come up where you might need them, and you know they're prized. You're like, well, if I get that, I can win this game. And that's going to do it for talking about the list, guys. If you enjoyed the video, as always, give it a like, and be sure to subscribe and hit the bell. And if you want to catch more PTCGO action from me, go check out the live stream, twitch.tv/AzulGG. I stream every day except Mondays, so go ahead and check that out. Let's go ahead, let's get in some games, and let's see how this Turbo Durant works. All right, here we go. Let's see what these Turbo Ants can do. Ooh, we won the coin flip. I actually don't know if I want to go first or second. I'm gonna say yes, just so we can maybe get off a turn 1 Snorlax play. But to be honest, yeah, I don't actually know. Definitely against Mew, I think I'd want to go second. But yeah, if I was hoping this kind of hand going second, or going second, I'd wish I'd gone first for sure. So we'll take it. Arceus deck, okay. Crushing Hammer's gonna be good against that. And top deck Ant. Ugh. All right. Not quite what we're looking for. Playing it slow to start off with, just a Gourmandize for 1, I guess. Maybe I would have liked to have gone second, to be honest. All right. Yeah, maybe I would have liked to have gone. Would like to have gone second. But yeah, most decks, I feel like we're gonna want to be going first against. And they got that turn 1 Trinity charge, so we're already gonna be in trouble here. Ultra Ball coming down as well. Maybe we can get some Echoing Horn action here off the start here. Let's see what they discard. Beedrill. So it looks like it is Arceus Flygon. Beedrill. Arceus Flygon Beedrill. Let's see what they grab with the Ultra Ball. They do grab the Flygon. So they're going to be setting a bunch of stuff up, which is good for us. It's good for us to see some of this stuff come into play. Of course, they have no idea we're playing Durant. We didn't show them anything on our first turn. I would have shown them a little bit more if we had drawn a little bit more, but draw's a little bit awkward for us, of course. So so the Flygon's going to be getting set up here. And yeah, the Impulse does KO Durant's 160. I'd have to Yellhorn that thing if it comes to the active. And I'm sure they're going to grab 3 energy for it here. There's no reason not to, yeah. Fighting Grass. We're going to try and Crushing Hammer the energy off the active, of course. We'll see what we top deck. Galarian Mine, so we'll definitely throw that out as well. Crushing Hammer. Let's hopefully get a heads here. Boom. Remove this DT off the active. Oh my gosh. That is something. All right. Go throw out a Galarian Mine. And then I'm going to go Bruno. Get this hand a little bit lower so we can draw a couple more cards with that Snorlax. No ants yet. Okay, weird start so far. No Quick Ball. No Level Ball. No ants. Finally, a Quick Ball. See some ants on our next turn. I'm curious to see if my opponent's hand is actually dead. I have a feeling it's probably not actually dead or anything like that. There's the escape rope. So yeah, Flygon to the active, and my Snorlax will be going down here. And we're gonna need quite a bit here, to be honest. This is not feeling great. There's the Arceus as well, so to have that Star Birth ability to work with as the game continues. Here's a Marnie from my opponent. To be honest, I don't mind it because my hand was a load of junk. Hopefully it becomes less junk. We found a Durant, I guess, at least. Still not great. Maybe they'll go ahead and throw a... Okay, I like to see that. Something to potentially gust up. And we'll be able to play a couple cards out of this hand now to actually draw some cards. A decent amount of cards with Snorlax. A decent amount of cards. Let's see what we get. Level Ball. Second Ant, I wouldn't mind. Did prize an Ant. We can check for the Peonia. While we're in here, it is there. So we might be able to get the other Durant out of the prize cards. We'll see. Maybe not. Not always going to work out. Here we go with a Catcher. Even if we get ahead, he'll definitely be able to move it next turn. But this is to make things harder for future turns. Go ahead and just bring up that RCSV. Throw down another Derp Ant. Thatch and Gourmandize for 6. Okay, there's some ants. But the thing with this hand is there's no draw supporter. There's the Bruno in the discard pile, though, so we're going to be able to go search out that Chatot and put that to work, hopefully, for us. And we have the net, so we can even reset the Chatot. The situation is a little bit awkward because we probably want to use this Yellhorn next turn. And we probably want to Yellhorn. But I don't have anything in the active that we can net out of the active here. So that's going to make things a little weird because we want to like use Devour next turn, but if we have to Yellhorn, it can make things weird. We don't have something to scoop up net. I could set up this ant initially, I guess. Yeah, I guess I can set up this. I mean, they might have a boss here. Yeah, they might have a boss here. Okay, but now we can. It still doesn't work out that well. I don't want to send up my Snorlax. I could send up the Snorlax, but if the Chatot whiffs, then I need to draw again with the Chatot. So I think I still send up the Durant here, and we could like net ant into ant potentially. While we use the Yellhorn. If the Chatot gets an initial heads on that first flip. If not, we have to like net the Chatot. I don't really want to go... We could just go back into Snorlax for a turn, I guess. But I want to start milling. I feel like if we don't start milling, we're going to keep losing. We could go into Snorlax for a turn now. Maybe we do go back into Snorlax for a turn, actually. I don't know. Do we draw? Okay, Level Ball here. I'm gonna grab Chatot. See if we can do some chatting. We get a heads here. If we do get a heads here, we could actually go in with... we could make this work, actually. Okay, heads, boom. Now we get the Bruno. Now we can go Quick Ball away a Quick Ball. Grab another Ant. Throw down an Ant. Match a twin. Yellhorn, the Flygon. And we get confused as well, but it doesn't really matter. Net the Snorlax. I might put the Snorlax back down, to be honest. How many nets do I have left? One. Oh, I have 3 nets left, so I think I am going to go ahead and bench the Snorlax again. Just in case. We might want it after they KO an Ant at some point. Our hand might be too awkward to want to go back into Durant. We might need to find some more stuff to work with. The draw is extremely subpar. Okay, Rescue Carrier. Get an Ant back. And if I get heads on this Crushing Hammer, I'm actually going to remove the energy off the Arceus and make their only viable attacker Tails. Make the only viable attacker the Flygon. Got another Ant. So that way they can't just go like hard retreat, DTE, start attack with Flygon. They'd actually probably go like air balloon active, retreat, DTE. It would get bad. So we're gonna go like this, and go like this. It would have gone like that. Crushing Hammer away the energy off the bench. Not able to make it work out this game or this turn, unfortunately. But there's always next turn to make plays. We still got 2 catcher left. We got 2 Crushing Hammer left. They're going through the confusion. That's a Tails. That is huge. Okay, that is massive that my opponent is choosing to attack through confusion here. This gives us that one turn could be the difference maker. Scoop up net. All right, so Peonia for sure. Bottom 3, always take the bottom 3. If you take anything else, you're messing up. Get rid of the Manaphy, Glare Mine. I'm gonna scoop up net. I think I want the Glare Mine replacement. I want the scoop up net to potentially. Maybe we do. Do we? Yeah, we definitely go like this, right? I could keep 2 Glare Mines. That's what I'm thinking. I didn't really check my prize cards thoroughly. Give me the second net, but then we could get weird if they actually go with like a boss on my Snorlax play. But we're always winning the deck out at that point, anyways, right? Maybe I keep the Glare Mine, get rid of the scoop up net then. No. Let's do it like this. That seems fine. I don't know if it's perfect, but I think we can manage. Devour for 4 now. We also have yet to find any of our shuffles. Escape Rope is a good hit there. Any kind of energy is always going to be a good hit. They're actually down 2 Escape Rope and a Switch. I actually wonder, now I'm seeing this, they actually might not play. And they're back into the confusion. Another Tails. Now they could hard retreat next turn and then attack with the Arceus. And I definitely don't want to Marnie them because it looks like they're definitely struggling with whatever they got going on. It looks like they're not playing the air balloons though. They're actually playing... and there's the concede. Okay, Turbo Ant, so far so good. But let's go again. Let's see if we can't get a win streak going. All right, my opponent has chosen for me to go first in this one. That means they're probably played Mew VMAX. I mean, there's always a possibility that it's not Mew VMAX, but it almost always is Mew VMAX when they choose for us to go first. We'll see, though. We'll see. Maybe something different, something spicy that likes to just go second. But our opening hand is actually pretty good to start using Devour, double level ball, double turbo energy. But past that, we're lacking draw support of any kind. We have a little bit of disruption in the Crushing Hammer and the catcher. So we have that going for us as well. But yeah, definitely lacking in the draw. So we might have to go with the Pyukumuku, to be honest, and just start drawing extra cards. And of course, we'll see what my opponent's actually playing and then decide whether or not, or decide how aggressive we really want to be. If we can get some info on this first Pokemon of theirs. They finally decided their starting Pokemon. And of course, they're going to get quite a bit of info from my starting Pokemon. They opened the Luminion. Okay, so looks like they didn't have great options. All right, the top deck Pokemon catcher is not great. I'm going to go ahead and grab the Pyukumuku. And I'm actually going to use the other level ball to go ahead and grab a Durant. Because I don't want a Pyukumuku into a Durant. I could have held the second level ball for next turn, but I don't want to get donked. I don't think they can donk me, but... I guess you never know for sure. And it looks like we could be in trouble. I'm attached to the bench. I'm going to pass over to my opponent. Yeah, we could be in trouble if we don't find some top decks. Yeah, I could have waited, like, held the second level ball so that way I would be able to level ball again next turn to get the puke and use it. But with the fear of getting donked, but I don't think we're getting donked here. It's an Arceus deck. They had fire energy in there, though. So, you know what I think this is? I think this is that Arceus... Charizard V-Star deck. There's actually a really cool list that I saw the other day. Played 3 Luminion, and if this is anything similar, it kind of makes sense why they opened a Luminion here. Because if you play 3 of them, you're going to open it pretty often, actually. They got the Arceus, they got the energy, we got the Crushing Hammer for that DTE, though. And there's a Switch as well, but we got some catchers to potentially disrupt that as well. So we could be pretty disruptive here. Actually, they're going with they get the Turbo Trinity Charge now, which is actually not very good for us. We'll see how many energy they put in play here, though. If they don't put too many, a Crushing Hammer heads can go a long way. But if they put as many as they're putting, and it looks like it's going to be 3, the Crushing Hammer heads is not going to go very far at all. Can we get that top deck, though? No, it is a boss. I guess we're boss in here. Boss Luminion. Mill 2. And hope that we top deck on the next turn, because I have a feeling with Luminion only having 1 retreat cost, it's not going to probably stop my opponent from attacking on this next turn. So we're going to need a top deck here on the next turn. But who knows? Maybe their hand has no energy. Maybe their hand has no draw support. It wouldn't be the first time something like that has ever happened. So it's definitely possible. A double turbo to the active. We got some catchers, though, so we could bring this Luminion back to the active. Unfortunately, we only have 1 Pokemon in play, so if they're able to move it again, we do just lose the game. So still hopeful for a top deck. But if we do whiff, there's some outs in the hand, I guess, technically. But yeah, Power Edge, more than enough to clean up my Ant. Spider Ant. It'll be kind of missed. All right. Go Durant. I just have to wait for my opponent to draw their prize card, and then we'll send our Ant up. As soon as they decide, you know, which one of those they want. There's not that many choices. There's just 6. And they have no info on them, but they're really taking their really taking their time on this one. Maybe it's just one of those times. All right, they finally drew their prize card, and it's over to me. Can we get that top deck we've been looking for? There's a Bruno. That's what we want to see. Got our catcher out here. Tails, we're going to go ahead and sling another one and hope for a heads. There we go. Luminion to the active. We can find a Glare Mine. This thing could get stuck. I'm even going to throw out a Crushing Hammer because a couple Crushing Hammer heads means the Arceus actually won't be able to attack. Get rid of the DTE. Get rid of one of those fires. Got a Tails on the Crushing Hammer though, so it's going to have to be this Bruno instead. A fresh 7. With not a ton of options. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of the Peonia. Grab a Durant. We do have the Yellhorns, though. This will give us something to work with on the next turn for sure. Go with this lucky match here real fast. I'm going to try and recover a... No, that's fine. I just wanted to put it down so that way I could send that up and then net it after I Yellhorn their Arceus, which I'm assuming I'm going to be Yellhorning their Arceus. Boss gone doesn't really mean a whole ton. Or we could even hard retreat the Chatot, to be honest. Unfortunately, we weren't able to find a Galare Mine, so my opponent is once again just an energy away from being able to retreat this Luminion and get back to the Arceus. But then the Yellhorns are going to come out, and I do want to try and hold the hand with double Yellhorn because, you know, we can Yellhorn this V, but then they can just evolve to the V-Star, remove the confusion, and then we're going to want to Yellhorn them again, and then at that point, they have to move it to the bench, send up a new Pokemon or something like that, and it gets more awkward, more weird for them. It looks like my opponents decided to start playing the game, though. Here comes a Quick Ball and a Magma Basin. They're going to go ahead and get themselves a something. I don't know what they're going to grab here. They're going for the Charizard, so they're setting up the Charizard, which is definitely fine with me. More things on the bench, more things to boss or catch her up and try and trap in the active. There's the Basin. I do want to try and get a different Pokemon in play, though. And who knows, maybe they just don't have anything going on. There's a boss for my opponent. I can only imagine it's going after my Chatot, though. They are going after my Chatot. Now, we can recover the Chatot, and it's just a pass, actually. Hey, scoop up net top deck on the Chatot. Send up an Ant. We still have 3 scoop up net left. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Chatot down just for the same reason with the Yellhorns as it would be next turn. Got a heads this time. I'm just going to go ahead and grab a boss to have for the future. Or we actually play Peonia this turn. I don't really have anything I'd want to Peonia. We have all our Ants in the deck. I don't have anything I'd want to put back in the prize cards, to be honest. So we're just going to go Devour for 2 again. If my opponent's not doing anything and we're doing something, double Marnie's off the top deck. So an out to a draw supporter. Not going to give that to my opponent. We could have Cynthia's Ambition for like 4 there as well. That would have been fine. But I guess it would have been less because I got the heads off the Chatot. Basin again. They do have a fire now that they're active. We're going to go into the Yellhorn route, I think, when they make their way into this Arceus, though. Send up the Chatot, play the Yellhorn, play the Cynthias for at least 6 or at least 5 cards, maybe 6 if we can play our top deck. And we're looking for the Rescue Carrier, looking for a net to move the Chatot, looking for a couple things. But yeah, here comes the... Oh, actually, wait, they're going for the Trinity charge. What? They're giving me more time to play the game? I mean, to be honest, I don't mind it. They struggled to move the Luminion last time, so I'm just going to boss this Luminion up here, to be honest. And then once again, Devour. Yeah, they struggled. They had the top deck to move it last time, I assume. So nothing too great there. But my opponent doesn't have too many cards left in their deck, to be honest. And we're just working them with this mill for 2 here. And so far, it's going pretty good. Yeah, the Trinity Charge there. Can't say I would recommend that play in this scenario to my opponent. And they're starting to run a little bit low on energy. I mean, they've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in play. They're down 2 switch cards as well. So at this point, them not having a way to move Luminion, I would not be surprised. A couple turns ago, I'd be like, well, Luminion's got 1 retreat cost. They should be playing plenty of energy. Be surprised if they can't lose Luminion. But at this point, they've committed quite a few energy into play. They are down a couple switch cards. So yeah, moving the Luminion, I wouldn't be surprised if they start whiffing that. Here. If there's a research even, I mean, it's going to see them more. Yeah, their hand was actually just completely dead there. The research is going to see them 7 new cards, but that's 7 less cards in their deck now. I think we're going to definitely be able to close this one out. I might even just get aggressive with the Durant, to be honest, and just start milling aggressively. At this point, I don't think we have to do any kind of tricks or gimmicks. It's just, I might even just like send up the Chatot and then throw out double Yellhorn and then Cynthia for 7, try and move the Chatot into a Durant. Do a retreat or a net. We still have plenty of energy left as well. We still got like 4 energy left, 3 scoop up nets. We really just need to find ways to recover ants or get that last ant out of the deck and just start milling for as much as possible. And there's the conceit. I don't think they had a way to move the Luminion. And we end up with another dub here. And that's the Turbo Ant, guys. The first deck to make it to the Arceus League on the ladder. I would have never thought it would have been Turbo Durant, to be honest. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, give it a like, enjoy the content, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell, and I'll see you tomorrow.